Speak now to Ahlume Mangxa, who is Eastern Cape Ambassador of the Children's Parliament. She joins us now. A very good evening to you, Ahlume. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Maybe let me just hear from you, just part of the discussions that were had at that Congress. What are the biggest threats facing children in the Eastern Cape?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your question, and thank you for one of the big problems children have is when they have to walk long distances to school. We will know that rural areas are different from urban areas. Most of the time, children living in rural or informal settlements have to walk long distances to school, and scholar transports are rare. They have to walk long distances to school, and some get raped in the process, some get killed, and some drop out of school. And also the issue of substance abuse or drug abuse. It affects children academically, socially, and in everything in their life. They get affected.
I hear there's also the issue of food shortages that quite a lot of children, particularly in Nelson Mandela Bay, rely on school feeding systems to eat. And there is now such a thing as umgalelo, or food stockpiles for children, that is growing in several villages in the Eastern Cape. Talk to us about that. Just how bad is the situation, and how, on average, are children affected? As you say, there are different circumstances for rural and urban settings.
Thank you so much for the question. Children, some of them, they depend on the food they get at school so that they can be able to eat. So the issue of poverty, or I must say maltreatment, the issue of poverty in the malnutrition, yes, thank you so much. The issue of poverty, especially in our province, Eastern Cape, it's growing. Children go to bed hungry, and we appreciate the food schemes, but we would ask the government to provide at least nakwindawo abahlala kuzo zibe khona izinto ukutya abazokufumana as children, so that they don't go to bed hungry, because ukutya bakufumanayo esikolweni ba enough ngela xesha basesikolweni, and when they are at home they get hungry also. Thank you.
I think just tell me something, and maybe if you can talk about those that you have seen, or people who you know experience this. What kind of families do they come from? Are there families that are just children, as in children-headed households? Are there families where parents don't work? Tell us a little bit more about the families where these children come from. And of course, I'm sure you will tell me in a way that still respects their dignity, their circumstances.
Can you please repeat your question?
Okay, so tell me about those who are going through these things, the kind of families that they come from. Are they families where it's just children? Are they children-headed households? Abazali, abasebenzi, perhaps? Just tell us a little bit more about the difficulties that they face. Noba ugogo, who's the head of the household, ongasebenzi naye ngokwakhe.
Thank you so much. This happens mostly on the townships or informal settlements, in rural areas, in child-headed homes, or in families where abazali bengaphangeli. Because, yes, they are grants and we appreciate them, but azonel for the rest of the month, azonel for inyanga yonke, because they are child-headed homes where abantwana ukhona umntana or responsible for abanye abantwana. the grants as bonel for the whole month, and that becomes a problem. And also in situations where abazali bengaphangeli, it also becomes a problem kwinto yokutya because aba-afford uthenga ukutya. And also in homes where you will find abazali they actually don't care about abantwana balale betye ntoni. In some homes kubanjalo. It happens mostly on townships or informal settlements or squatter camps. Thank you.
Ahlume, khawusibalisele ngokuthwala. We hear that there are young girls who are forced into early marriages. Does that also have to do with the problem of abazali bangaphangeli, as you said, or just trying to come out of poverty? You spoke about rape earlier on, sexual exploitation at school. Does that also happen because of these poverty situations? And you also spoke about drug abuse. Are all of these connected?
Thank you so much. The issue of poverty, sometimes it leads our parents to making decisions without thinking actually how this would affect the child. For example, in the issue of ukutwala, they make decisions so that they could come out of poverty. For example, their girl child and marry her to a rich family so that bezofumana imali to get out of poverty. And that is actually violating the rights of a child. The rights of a child to go to school and be free. And the right from neglect, because the moment the parents take that child and take her and go marry her to a person she doesn't know, it is good as neglecting that child, which is in the section 28 of our constitution. It is said that children have the right to basic education, to shelter, and they deserve to be protected from neglect, maltreatment, and degradation.
So, Ahlume, what are you as children saying?
And I think children have to do this right when they are married to these children.
What are you as children saying to the provincial government, particularly?
Can you please?
Yes, what are you saying to the provincial government, its head, the premier, to the schools, to NGOs who are there to help you? What are you saying children want? What solutions you think will work for you as children who are facing these circumstances? Because you speak on their behalf as ambassador.
Thank you so much. As we all know that South Africa has a constitution and children's rights are well protected in the constitution. If our government, we acknowledge that our government is trying by all means could put more effort in implementing the rights of a child in the constitution, everything will be perfect in the country. Because the constitution has everything covered. Only if the constitution would be implemented and everything would be okay. For example, in the matter of ukutya abantwaneni, if kunoba khona ne-feeding schemes ezinoba babe accessible ekutyeni apho kwindawo bahlala kuzo kungapheleli ezikolweni, because there is also a life outside school ebantwaneni. And also government to have programs so teacher abazali on how to raise their children, because abanye abazali they think a solution to get out of poverty babatshathisa abantwana babo kubantu abarich abazobe banikeza imali. The rights of a child. Thank you.
Ahlume Enkosi, and wish you all the best. And we do hope that one day we'll be able to have a longer conversation with you. Unfortunately, technology letting us down there. That is Ambassador of the Children's Parliament in the Eastern Cape, Ahlume Mangxa.